private schools bottom of class after GCSE shake-up.
This is the GAP News at 5:30 with Gary Pendlebury.
Many of the country's top private schools will find themselves at the bottom of the league's tables today, following a shake-up of the GCSE system. Also this morning, severe weather warnings as thunder snowstorms on the way. Energy firms set for profits boost despite price cuts. And Andy Murray through to Australian Open final after beating Thomas Berdych 3-1. Good morning and welcome to the programme. Many of the country's top private schools will find themselves at the bottom of the league's tables today, following a shake-up of the GCSE system. It comes after the government announced international GCSEs, IGCSEs, used by many private schools as they are deemed more rigorous, would no longer be counted in the rankings. Figures out today reveal the number of secondary schools considered to be underperforming has also doubled in the wake of the overhaul of the exams system. But school leaders have branded the move to drop IGCSEs from the rankings as nonsense. Richard Harman, chair of the Headmasters and Headmistresses Conference, HMC, said several of the UK's most highly performing independent schools and others offering this excellent qualification will now appear to be bottom of the class in the government's rankings. This obviously absurd situation creates further confusion for parents as they cannot compare schools' performance accurately and transparently. Many HMC schools will continue to offer the IGCSE as experience tells it's rigorous and offers good basis for sixth form study. The new league tables based on Department for Education data show how every school and college in England performed at GCSE, A-level and other academic and vocational qualifications in 2014. State secondaries are considered to be below the government's target if fewer than 40% of pupils gain at least 5 C grades at GCSE, including English and Maths, and students are not making good enough progress in these two core subjects. In total, 330 schools fell below the benchmark this year, up from 154 last year. Schools that fell below the threshold could face action, including being closed down and turned into academy or being taken over by a new sponsor. Education Secretary Nicky Morgan said that the government has raised the bar and that schools were already rising to the challenge. She added, for too long, pupils were offered courses of no value to them and schools felt pressured to enter young people for exams before they were ready. By stripping out thousands of poor quality qualifications and removing results from tables, some schools have seen changes in their standings. This year's top school for GCSEs was King Edward VI Five-Way School and an academy in Birmingham. It entered 555 pupils for GCSEs and equivalent qualifications and all scored at least 5 C grades, including English and Maths. It also had the highest average point score per pupil at 685.5. The most improved school was the Charter Academy in Southsea, which has seen results jump from 39% of students getting at least 5 Cs, including the basics in 2011, to 83% achieving this standard in 2014. Figures now show 90,000 more teenagers are now taking more academic subjects and 50,000 more taking a language more than 4 years ago. While the number of pupils entering the English Baccalaureate EBAC has risen 71%. The top schools for the EBAC this year were in Altrincham Grammar School for the girls and Queen Elizabeth School in Barnet, where 99% of pupils who entered the EBAC achieved it. The Association of School and College Leaders, ASCL, has launched an alternative league table after saying that the government model does not give full picture. ASCL General Secretary Brian Lightman said that we want parents to have as much information as possible, but it needs to be presented in a way that is genuinely useful and gives a full picture of the quality of the education that schools provide and the outcomes that young people achieve. That is really what matters. Now, a week of snow and freezing temperatures is on the way, with severe weather warnings enforced for large swathes of the UK today. Up to 15 centimetres of snow, around 6 inches, is predicted to have fallen in some highland areas tonight, with thunder snowstorms expected in the north, according to the Met Office. An amber be prepared warning of snow remains in force for most of the country today, with Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England most affected. More than a dozen train services run by First TransPennine Express between Manchester and York have been cancelled as a precaution, while a number of main roads have been closed in Durham and Yorkshire because of heavy snowfall. Other areas, stretching as far down as the West Midlands and parts of South West England, are covered by yellow warnings, which urge people to be aware of potential disruption caused by bad weather. Yellow warnings have also been issued across Northern England, Scotland and Northern Ireland on Saturday, with the East Coast and South West also due to be affected on Sunday. Energy companies are under fire this lunchtime after official figures indicate that they are increasing their pre-margin tax profit margins. The industry regulator Ofgem is saying that this evidence is not competition working in the customer's favour. What's more, the Energy Secretary has also joined the fray, saying that it's bigger price cuts, not bigger profits, that are called for. The Ofgem figures show that the average dual fuel energy bill for the next 12 months will be £1,305. The typical average margin is £114 per customer and up to £9 per month. The figures are widely being interpreted as proof that energy firms will be building bigger profits as wholesale prices go down, but the prices customers pay are not keeping pace with the cost of reductions. But power firms are not taking this lying down, they've got their own figures. They say Ofgem wildly exaggerated profit predictions in recent years. New independent research shows that official figures can be out as much by 200%. But the Ofgem figures will strike a chord with the millions of customers who are seeing wholesale gas prices fall by upwards of 30%, while standard tariff domestic bills fall by just 4% on average. And we have been given new figures by one of the big switching sites, Energy Helpline, indicating a surge in people changing their energy deal in the last fortnight. They have been seeing a switching rise of 27%. The Big Six were worried that the people may be moving away from in the light of what's been happening. And finally, Andy Murray is through to the Australian Open final after beating Tomas Berdych 3-1, 6-7, 6-8, 6-0, 3-7, 5 in a thrilling semi-final. It didn't start well for Murray in the first set, but just the second set he'd lost the championship. But he quickly set about ensuring Berdych would lose his first of the fortnight in return. 2 breaks of serve in the first 4 games, aided by a run of 10 straight points, helped Murray charge into the 5-0 lead, and there was nothing Berdych could do to stem the tide. Murray broke for a third time in the set to take it to 6-0, known as Beagle, and first lasting 77 minutes had taken Scott to just get 37 minutes to get back on terms and leave Berdych looking for a plan B. He proved too strong in the next 2 sets to edge past the Czech. The first 5 games of the third set went to serve, and it looked certain that the 6th would be, as well as Berdych moved up 40-0 up However, back-to-back doubles faults allowed Murray back into the game, and after seeing one break point saved, the world number 6 produced 2 clean winners to gain the vital break. Murray consolidated the break in ideal fashion by holding to love, and after Berdych reduced to his deficit, another service gave hold to Murray, set 6-3 to 2 wet sets to lead. Berdych looked to have no way back into the match, but made a real fight of it in the 4th set, forcing 2 break points on Murray's serve in the 6th game. Murray saved the first half by given a time violation warning by the umpire, who seemingly did not realise that Murray delayed serving due to the reaction of his fiancée Kim to the previous point being replayed on the big screen. Murray pointed out that after saving the second break point to level at 3-3 and was eventually able to force break points of his own on Berdych's serve, the Czech serving a crucial double fault to fall 15-40 behind. That made it 6 double faults for the match, compared to just 5 axes and a hit backhand long point. Murray had the vital break and served without his love, his 14th ace, stealing a dramatic 6-7 win in 3 hours and 26 minutes. And that is the way your news is looking this morning. Meanwhile, from all of us here on the early team, it is goodbye and thank you for watching.